上到火星你先過嚟食嘅。我先鋪個價過嚟啦，我先幫你影啦。冇啊，冇袋用啊。邊個位啊？邊個位啊？有個人即係我哋經典嘅，真係。我哋嗰啲水平係啊，重點係頭的士最好中意食水佢。
好，歡迎大家嚟到今日警方嘅記者會啊！咁首先我介紹一下在台上邊嘅6位嘅講者先。咁首先喺台嘅中間，咁大家見到啦，咁就係我哋警察公共關係科總警司謝振中先生。咁啊，謝 Sir 嘅左手邊呢，咁就係我哋警察公共關係科高級警司江永祥先生。咁而喺江 Sir 嘅左手邊呢，咁就係屯門警區處理副指揮官施玉嬋女士。咁而喺 Madam C 嘅左手邊呢，咁就係支援科嘅警司戚夏瑜女士。咁我哋去翻謝 Sir 嘅右手邊，咁就係機場警區副指揮官劉永基先生。咁啊，在阿劉 Sir 嘅右手邊呢，就係行動部警司方志堅先生。咁啊，稍後呢，幾位會先後發言嘅。咁跟住就有個問題時間。咁啊，每位呢，就想發問記者麻煩舉一舉手。咁跟住我哋又會一咪你，咁啊最多可以發問3條，同埋請你講出自己嚟自邊個傳媒機構嘅。咁啊完咗之後就要將個咪俾翻我哋同事。咁啊事不宜遲，我將個時間交翻俾謝 Sir。
好，大家好。警方留意到呢過去幾日呢，唔停有人同埋機構呢喺唔同嘅國際媒體同場合裏面呢，明知有啲指控係錯誤或者未經證實之下呢，仍然對警隊作出一啲片面或者不實嘅指控，而網上亦都繼續流傳一啲惡意中傷嘅留言。警方對於呢啲人士不負責任嘅言論深感遺憾，而我哋都想藉呢個機會同大家作出一啲澄清。例如有人接受外國傳媒訪問嘅時候，聲稱7月1日衝擊立法會事件裏面並冇任何警員受傷，但係事實喺7月1日呢，示威者向在場嘅警務人員投擲咗一啲懷疑不知名嘅物質之後呢，令到現場嘅警務人員受傷，而當中亦都有警務人員呢呼吸困難同埋皮膚紅腫。當晚整晚呢係共有14名警務人員呢要送院求醫。另外有人呢喺另一個嘅國際場合裏面就住香港嘅情況發表佢嘅意見，提及有被捕者被警察施以性暴力，無理地對佢全裸搜身15分鐘至半個鐘，又有指控指警方以布袋彈射向一名女子，令到佢其中一隻眼失去視力。而就住警員對被捕人裸體搜身同性暴力嘅指控，警方已經多次作出澄清。警方尊重而且有嚴格嘅程序保障被羈留人士嘅權利。其實根據警方嘅記錄，逗留喺搜查室嘅時間呢，只有大概4分鐘，而所謂嘅性暴力更加係無稽之談。而有女子眼部受傷嘅個案仍然喺調查之中，警方亦曾經通過唔同嘅方式聯絡事主，希望還社會一個真相。個案而家牽涉喺一單法律訴訟之中，故且未有任何調查結果之前呢，任何人其實唔應該對事件擅自揣測妄下結論。有部分行業嘅協會過去曾經發表聲明，質疑警隊嘅專業，批評警隊執法不公。就以記協喺9月16日嘅聲明為例，佢哋聲稱喺9月15日北角暴力衝擊事件嘅現場嘅警員未有制服或者拘捕向記者施襲嘅人士，質疑警隊故意保護某一方嘅人士，對佢哋嘅暴力行為視而不見。但係喺記協發出相關聲明之前，其實我喺4點鐘記者會，即係喺呢一度呢，其實係講咗就住北角嘅案件呢，警方當刻拘捕咗29名涉案者，當中2人呢係涉嫌襲擊記者。咁我都想喺呢一度俾個資訊大家，截到今日為止呢，我哋總共就住北角事件呢拘捕咗33人，涉及一啲相關當日嘅暴力事件，當中5人涉嫌襲擊記者。呢5個被捕人士裏面有人係當日係即場被拘捕嘅，所以同記協當日 喺記者招待會後嗰份聲明所講冇處理現場暴力事件呢，係絕對唔正確。與此同時，我今次嘅反修例運動裏面呢，其實警方呢，自6月以嚟收到記協轉介嘅27個冇提供記者姓名，但係提供咗新聞機構名稱嘅一啲投訴個案。經過警方向記協反映之後呢，記協表示會通知記者聯絡警方作出跟進，但係最終到今日為止，只係有1位記者主動聯絡我哋，而我哋喺前日亦都已經向記協反映，希望相關嘅記者盡快同警方聯絡。除咗頭先所講嘅明知唔正確仍然作出嘅指控之外呢，網上都重複又重複咁出現呢對警方作出毫無根據嘅一啲指控，而坊間亦都湧現好多唔願意挺身而出，躲藏喺口罩後面針對警方嘅一啲投訴人。呢啲無稽嘅指控包括指有內地執法部門混入香港警隊，甚至指控警方殺害或者強姦示威者。大家都可以見到，今日喺某大專院校就有人惡意張貼一啲完全同事實不符、污蔑警方嘅海報。警方強烈譴責呢啲居心叵測嘅抹黑行為。警方必須強調，殺人、強姦呢啲係非常嚴重嘅刑事指控，唔能夠單憑某啲人憑空想像而確定。我哋希望所謂受害人拿出證據來，警方一方面會嚴肅跟進。所有文明社會都唔能夠接受有人為咗分化社會或者煽動情緒而故意捏造事實嘅行為。警方一向明白社會關注同埋疑慮，所以我哋透過唔同嘅渠道向市民發放資訊。自今年6月9號開始，警方其實已經舉辦咗34次警察嘅記者會，出咗486個社交媒體嘅貼文，210次新聞公告，另外仲做咗好多警察快訊、傳媒簡報、電台訪問、人物專訪等等，令到大眾可以更了解警隊嘅工作，釐清社會嘅疑慮。而政府不同嘅部門同機構亦都曾經做過好多聯合聲明同埋簡報會，反駁一啲不實言論同埋指控。警方一向尊重市民言論自由，但我哋必須指出，言論自由係應該建基於事實之上。有鑑於網上同某啲人不實嘅指控，警方其實喺呢個4點鐘記者會裏面已經曾經作出咗超過40次嘅澄清。警方唔揣測有人散佈呢啲謠言嘅意圖，但係的確呢種行為已經動搖咗市民對警隊嘅信心，污蔑咗警隊整體3萬人嘅工作。但如果有人以為用有啲不可告人嘅目的而無視事實，斷章取義、加鹽加醋咁去製造謊言同埋恐慌，警方可以講係必定會追究到底。警方會一如既往向公眾提供準確同全面嘅資訊，希望市民可以唔好俾呢啲傳言所誤導，小心核實相關嘅信息。我亦都呼籲市民謹記，兼聽則明，偏聽則弊，唔好輕易相信網上嘅留言或者個別人士嘅片面支持。我而家會交俾江 Sir 交代下過去呢幾日警方行動作出嘅一啲拘捕情況。
係，唔該謝 Sir。咁首先係拘捕數字，由行動至今呢，就行動我哋一共拘捕咗1474人，其中包括1190名嘅男子同埋284名女子，年齡介乎12至84歲。而喺9月16號同17號，警方就住唔同嘅暴力事件，我哋進一步採取咗拘捕行動，包括就住9月15號喺北角嘅暴力事件，我哋拘捕多1名48歲嘅男子，涉嫌9月15日喺北角用摺凳襲擊市民。警方喺9月16號以普通襲擊同埋藏有攻擊性武器嘅罪名拘捕咗佢，而家正係保釋候查。另外就住9月14號喺淘大商場嘅暴力事件， 我哋亦都係經調查之後，9月17號再拘捕多一名31歲嘅男子，涉嫌協助拘捕人士逃走罪。而家亦都係保釋外出候查。而法庭案件方面，我哋就一名18歲男子涉嫌喺7月22號刑事毀壞一名立法會議員喺荃灣嘅議員辦事處嘅玻璃同埋議員辦事處裏邊嘅物件呢，咁我哋呢就早前就以刑事毀壞罪拘捕同埋控告咗佢。案件已經於9月19號喺沙田法院提堂。而就住7月21號喺元朗西鐵站嘅事件，我哋喺9月17號再拘捕一名57歲嘅男子，涉嫌參與暴動。我哋已經控告咗佢一項參與暴動罪。案件已經喺9月18日喺粉嶺裁判法院提堂。檢控數字，我喺呢度想借呢個機會同大家講一講由行動至今我哋一啲嘅檢控嘅情況。喺呢段時間裏邊，警方一共落案起訴咗207個人，當中包括檢控暴動罪嘅79人，非法集結罪40人，刑事毀壞罪21人，藏有攻擊性武器罪22人等等。而有關暴動罪方面，當中44人係涉嫌參與7月21號喺港島區嘅暴力事件，16人係涉及參與8月31號喺銅鑼灣同埋灣仔一帶嘅暴力事件，6人係涉嫌參與7月21號喺元朗西鐵站同埋附近地方嘅暴力事件。大家可以睇到喺過去咁多單嘅暴力事件裏邊，其實我哋一路都係嚴正執法。而7月21號嘅元朗暴力襲擊事件，都係我哋調查嘅重點案件之一。警方絕對唔容忍任何形式嘅暴力行為，只要係有人干犯罪行，我哋就會嚴正執法。不論被捕人嘅背景、動機或者身份，我哋都會公平公正咁作出調查。如果有足夠證據嘅話，就會提出檢控。我哋喺之前嘅記者會亦都同大家提及過，根據法例上嘅定義，喺一個暴動嘅現場，如果有人喺現場集結而唔肯離開嘅話，亦都係有機會干犯參與暴動罪。有關我哋嘅同事喺行動受傷方面，由行動至今呢，我哋總共有250名嘅同事受傷，當中呢就有同事呢係被示威者投擲一啲不知名嘅腐蝕性液體而灼傷，亦都係有同事係喺行動當中係被硬物擊中，嚴重受傷。亦都有同事係因為俾一啲嘅雷射槍照射眼部而受傷，而更加有同事係喺行動當中呢係被汽油彈掉中而受傷嘅。而另外亦都有同事係被一啲嘅彈珠射中面部，嚴重受傷嘅。就住使用彈藥方面，由行動至今呢，就由於暴力嘅示威者同埋暴徒向警方同埋唔同嘅人士作出一啲暴力嘅行為，包括使用汽油彈、彈珠，又或者一啲巨型彈叉等等。於是乎，警方需要使用相應嘅武力去應付同埋去處理呢一啲嘅事件。由行動6月9號至今，警方共使用約3100發嘅催淚彈，約590發嘅橡膠彈，約80發嘅布袋彈，同埋約290發嘅海綿彈。 咁跟住我會喺呢一度作出一啲澄清。我哋見到喺最近嘅一段時間裏邊，有好多人喺唔同嘅自殺案件裏邊造謠，包括最近有人聲稱喺將軍澳海面發現嘅一具浮屍嘅案件呢，係同8月31號太子站嘅事件係有關。其實之後呢，警方已經初步證實咗，而亦都係透過唔同嘅媒體報導過，呢一宗嘅案件其實係同9月6號嘅一宗失蹤人口案件係有關嘅。而死者呢，而我哋初步呢係證實係好有可能呢係一個自殺案件。而佢嘅屋企人呢，係最後喺9月6號呢喺屋企有見過佢。咁試問又點樣可以同8月31號嗰個事件有關呢？咁所以我哋已經證實咗呢件事係同8月31號嘅事件係完全冇關係嘅。造謠者喺完全冇事實基礎下講咗呢啲冇根據嘅指控，係不負責任嘅，更加冇考慮到喺案件裏邊死者同埋佢嘅屋企人嘅感受。呢啲行為係極之自私嘅。而另外呢，根據死因裁判官條例，一啲非自然死亡嘅個案，例如自殺，係屬於須予報告嘅死亡個案。我哋警方呢係需要向死因裁判官報告嘅。如果有需要嘅話，死因裁判官亦都會因應頭先所講嘅條例賦予佢嘅權利，就會要求警方作進一步嘅調查，呈交死亡調查報告。而之後呢，死因裁判官會因應報告嘅內容，再決定是否進行死因研訊。而死因研訊係有陪審團嘅，跟住會決定究竟死因為何。喺過程裏邊係有嚴謹嘅死因裁判官同埋公開、公正、公平嘅陪審團把關。並唔係一啲指控話我哋警方可以喺過程裏邊完全操控。我必須指出，呢一類嘅捕風捉影嘅指控，目的只係意圖去撕裂社會，激發社會對立嘅情緒。而頭先謝 Sir 提及今日嘅一幅被廣傳而全屬虛構嘅圖片呢，去指控警察輪姦一名嘅被捕人士，呢啲亦都係絕對毫無根據底下嘅造謠行為。造謠者不負責任，唯恐天下不亂。我喺呢度對此等人嘅行為呢，予以嚴厲譴責。咁跟住落嚟嘅時間，我就交俾阿方 Sir 去講一講一啲有關俗稱連儂牆嘅事件。
好，唔該阿 Sir。各位市民、各位記者，咁接住落嚟呢，我會同大家講一講呢有關連儂牆嘅資訊。咁喺開始之前呢，咁我想邀請大家呢睇一睇呢一段大概1分鐘嘅短片。唔該。
3人喺現場唱國歌，再拆除連儂牆上嘅紙張，期間有市民上前理論，部分人用旗杆追打幾個男人。你唔好指呢個！喂，你唔好手指小手啊！指你老母菜點啊？肥閪！
咁大家都喺剛才嘅片段入邊咧，都可以見到，其實喺過往3個月入邊咧，咁啊全港各區咧都有有啲市民咧喺牆上面啊，或者啲公共地方咧，就透過貼海報或者啲 memo 紙咧，咁即係有人叫做連儂牆嘅地方咧，去表達佢哋嘅意見。咁我哋咧就一向咧都非常之尊重市民咧和平表達訴求嘅自由。 但係咧，警方咧都希望咧市民咧明白咧呢啲地方咧係相對咧係較高風險嘅，因為咧喺過去咧我哋嘅事件入邊咧，我哋都睇到呢啲地方咧不時咧有啲爭執啊、打交啊，甚至乎咧係一啲襲擊嘅暴力事件發生嘅。而警方咧係非常之重視咧呢一類型嘅案件。由本年嘅6月至到9月20號咧，喺呢類型嘅地方咧涉及刑事調查嘅案件咧，總共咧有40宗。而我哋咧已經咧係拘捕咗57名涉案嘅人士。咁所涉及嘅罪行咧係包括喺公眾地方打鬥啦、普通襲擊啦、藏有攻擊性武器啦，以及係傷人罪等等嘅。咁我哋強調咧，我哋嘅執法咧係絕對不會因為涉案者嘅背景同埋政治取態咧而有所不同。咁希望社會亦都理解咧，警方咧係絕對唔會偏袒任何一方嘅。咁我哋留意到咧，有團體咧，亦都係喺聽日，即係9月21號咧，係將會咧發動一個去到全港各區嘅連儂牆咧，進行一個清潔嘅行動嘅。我哋強調咧，我哋係十分之尊重市民表達意見嘅權利，但係咧，我哋都必須喺度咧呼籲各位，就係話千萬唔好因為政見不同咧，就透過暴力去表達意見。警方咧係絕對唔會容許任何暴力事件嘅。任何人咧作出違法嘅行為，破壞社會安寧嘅説話咧，我哋咧將會不論背景、不論政治嘅理念，必定咧係會嚴正執法，不偏不倚咧咁樣去處理，將犯罪分子咧繩之於法。咁我嘅所講嘅資訊係咁多，咁將時間咧交俾阿 Madam 先。
唔該晒。接住落嚟時間，我會講講咧係聽日喺屯門區嘅一個遊行通知。咁警方喺2019年9月12號，即係上個星期四咧，係收到主辦者嘅通知咧，就會喺今年嘅9月21號，即係聽日星期六，晏晝2點至晚上7點，會喺屯門區舉行光復屯門公園公眾遊行。咁主辦者咧申報咧係會有3000名嘅人士參與啦，同埋提供100名嘅糾察咧係去協助嘅。咁遊行嘅路線呢，係起點由屯門新和里遊樂場內嘅足球場，經過新和里北行線，進入屯門鄉事會路北行線、杯渡路東行線，跟住係屯門公園近屯門西鐵站 B 出口嘅入口，屯門公園近屯門河行人路進入屯門公園。咁跟住入咗屯門公園之後呢，就會係上去接通往屯門大會堂嘅行人天橋，而到達終點呢，就係屯門政府合署嘅。咁全長呢，大約呢係2公里。警方一直呢以嚟都係非常之尊重市民嘅遊行集會嘅權利。咁對於今次嘅申請，咁經過詳細嘅考慮同埋風險評估，基於公共安全、公共秩序同埋保護他人嘅權利同埋自由嘅考慮，而作出咧係反對呢一個遊行嘅決定。咁警方亦都喺9月18號，即係星期三咧，就向主辦者發出咗反對遊行通知書。咁主辦者喺9月19號，琴日星期四咧，亦都係提出咗上訴嘅。咁經過今日上晝公眾集會及遊行上訴委員會審議之後咧，最終咧係裁定咧上訴得直。咁但係咧，上訴委員會決定係縮短個遊行時間，由原定嘅晏晝2點至7點咧，更改為晏晝2點至下午5點。遊行路線係維持不變。咁警方亦都隨即咧係向主辦者咧發出不反對通知書。警方尊重上訴委員會嘅裁決，並且會致力咧協助遊行集會人士和平表達意見，以維持公共秩序、公共安全同埋咧保護他人嘅權利同埋自由。咁最後咧，警方呼籲，如果聽日係會參與呢一個遊行嘅市民呢，佢哋咧喺參與遊行嘅時候咧，係一定要遵從在場警務人員嘅指示， 去和平理性咁樣表達佢哋意見，千祈唔好衝擊警察，或者咧係破壞社區設施，或者做一切其他違法嘅行為。多謝晒。接落嚟嘅時間呢，我會交俾機場警區副指揮官劉 Sir。
好，唔該。各位午安。警方留意到有人喺網上號召其他人喺今個星期日刻意使用交通工具堵塞香港國際機場以及通往機場嘅道路，呼籲市民使用機場鐵路、機場巴士、私家車等等各種交通工具，不斷咁來往機場，意圖阻礙、癱瘓出入機場嘅正常交通同埋運作。跟住大家先可以睇睇以下嘅片段。
見到聚集咗大批嘅示威人士，咁但係咧都係仲有幾百名嘅人士喺度聚集嘅。咁見到咧佢哋係封咗行車路線㗎。咁有一大條嘅車龍，唔少嘅車輛咧係過唔到嚟㗎。
一個着熒光背心講普通話嘅男人深夜被示威者包圍，佢嘅背心被除低，示威者認為佢係假扮記者嘅內地公安。佢被撳喺地上面，手同腳被綁上索帶，有人拉低佢嘅褲。喺佢送上救護車途中，繼續被襲擊。
片段入邊，大家都見到喺過去嘅一段時間，有示威者罔顧法庭嘅禁制令，進入機場範圍，肆意堵塞交通，影響香港國際機場嘅運作，阻礙各地嘅旅客、香港市民以及機場職員正常使用機場設施。當中亦有激進嘅示威者非法禁錮普通嘅市民，並且施以私刑。佢哋亦都有阻止救護人員向受傷人士提供醫療服務，罔顧其他人嘅生命安全。而當警務人員到場，希望可以幫助受傷人士以及救護人員離開嘅時候，我哋嘅同事更加係受到嚴重嘅襲擊，需要拔槍警告。警方重申，機管局已經喺8月24號獲批延長禁制令。禁制令涵蓋嘅範圍包括整個機場島，即使有人刻意堵塞機場島入邊或者係附近嘅道路，都有機會干犯藐視法庭罪。如果任何人非法地、有意圖地、故意阻礙或者干擾機場嘅正常使用，或者鼓吹協助其他人作出違反禁制令嘅行為，上述嘅情況都有機會干犯藐視法庭罪。同時，機場客運大樓亦都已經實施出入管制，乘客進入機場客運大樓都需要出示有效嘅登機證等嘅文件。不過，警方留意到有人喺網上鼓吹其他人使用一啲假嘅登機證或者電子機票，從而進入機場嘅客運大樓入邊。當中更加有一啲嘅網上平台聲稱可以出售一啲假嘅電子機票。就有關嘅網上言論，警方已經同相關嘅持份者作出跟進。喺出入管制點嘅檢查人員，如果遇到懷疑係虛假嘅電子機票或者登機證， 有關嘅人員會第一時間通知警方到場調查。警方強調，呢類嘅行為有機會干犯使用虛假文書或者係欺詐罪，最高咧係可以監禁14年。另外，根據過去一啲影響機場運作嘅活動入邊嘅觀察，有駕駛者曾經故意阻礙交通，行為咧係極不負責任。例如，有司機係會刻意喺繁忙嘅道路上面慢駛，造成車龍，甚至係停車。佢哋咁樣做，有可能係會干犯不小心駕駛，甚至係危險駕駛罪等等。警方會採取一切可行嘅措施去維持道路暢通以及公共安全。如果有任何人干犯法例、非法堵路，甚至係作出暴力嘅行為，警方必定會果斷執法。最後，就住今個星期日可能會影響機場運作嘅一啲活動，警方已經同有關嘅政府部門同埋相關嘅持份者溝通，制定一啲嘅應變方案，並且會因應實際嘅情況而作出調配，確保公共安全以及公共秩序。警方亦預期機場當日嘅交通係可能會出現嚴重嘅擠塞，並且係呼籲市民預留相當充裕嘅時間前往機場。市民亦都要留意最新嘅交通以及係航班嘅信息，因為有關交通同埋航班嘅安排，亦都可能會隨住機場嘅情況而改變。
我會做一個總結。警隊一直竭盡全力維護香港嘅整體治安，希望回復香港嘅安定和平。可惜我哋見到暴力示威咧，過去3個月以嚟越演越烈，而一啲肆意違法嘅行為亦都變得司空見慣，而越嚟越多人躲喺口罩後面或者鍵盤後面，用一啲道聽途說嘅謠言刻意攻擊警隊。而大家都可以見到，香港作為世界上其中一個最安全嘅城市，過去1年我哋嘅罪案數字係自1974年紀錄以嚟最低。而喺2018年警隊服務意見程度調查裏面呢，結果顯示市民同警方接觸同溝通之後呢，對警隊嘅服務滿意程度嘅水平係84% 滿意。警方過往嘅成績呢，大家係有目共睹。香港警隊一直有卓越嘅國際評級，例如香港喺列格坦研究所全球繁榮指數2018裏面嘅安全同保安評分，世界正義工程法治指數2018裏面嘅秩序同安全嘅評分，世界經濟論壇世界競爭力報告書2018-2019中警察服務可靠程度裏面嘅評分，菲沙研究所全球人類自由指數2018裏面警方可靠度嘅評分。上述4個評分過去，警隊喺1年裏面全部排名都係上升，亦都係位於世界前10嘅位置。我想講，香港警隊有如此高嘅國際認可，除咗我哋擁有一支卓越嘅警隊人員以外，正正係因為第一，我哋有一套完善嘅司法制度；第二，警隊有一套嚴謹嘅警隊條例同程序，監管住我哋點樣處事同執法。而警隊嘅訓練同指引亦都係根據國際標準制定同埋不斷檢討。最後，香港亦都一直有一套行之有效嘅監警制度。市民單憑一啲失實、毫無證據嘅指控，去嘗試推翻警隊175年以嚟嘅基業，污蔑3萬名同事嘅努力，摧毀我啱啱講過咁多個唔同嘅制度。咁樣係咪公平呢？係咪合理呢？警隊亦唔希望再有呢啲莫須有嘅罪名加諸喺我哋同事嘅身上面。警隊會繼續盡快澄清不實嘅報導。警方必定會堅守崗位，止暴制亂，維護法紀。我而家會用英文簡短講講頭先部分嘅中文內容。We are aware that over the past few days, several people and organizations have made false accusations against the police. These people spread malicious rumors to slander the police and to stir up grievances in society. We express deep regret about such irresponsible remarks and take this opportunity to rebut some of these rumors. First of all, one Hong Kong activist told foreign media that no police officers were injured during the violent incident in the Legislative Council on 1st of July. This is totally false. Indeed, a total of 14 police officers were injured, with some being burned by unknown substances, suffering breathing difficulties and skin irritation as a result. On another occasion, one activist claimed that some female arrested people were sexually harassed by our officers, and that one female was blind in one eye by beanbag rounds fired by police. Again, we have iterated multiple times that we have very strict guidelines on handling of detainees. Such unnamed, unverified, and true allegations are very irresponsible and biased against the police. As for the eye injury of a lady, we have repeatedly said the case is still under investigation. We are really eager to find out the truth, but that lady tried very hard to deter us from doing so. Since the investigation is ongoing, no one is in a position to make any conclusion. Also, the Hong Kong JA issued a statement on 16th of September to question police fairness in our execution of duty. These organizations said that in the violent incident on 15th of September, the officers were favoring one party when enforcing the law. Such accusation is totally false. Indeed, even before the statement was issued, I said during the 4 p.m. press conference that we arrested 29 people, 2 of which were arrested on the spot for assaulting reporters. So far, we have arrested 33 people involving in the violent incident in North Point, 5 of which were arrested for assaulting reporters. This shows the true facts are contradictory to the accusations made. Again and again, we see ungrounded reports in the media and online throwing very strong accusation at the police. Such wild talks include mainland cops infiltrating in Hong Kong police and our officers committing rapes and even murders. We must emphasize not only are these allegations totally false and ungrounded, they are inciting public hatred and tearing our society apart. No civilized society will condone such acts. And if certain people feel aggrieved by police actions, we appeal to them to come forward and make a formal report. We value the importance of accurate and updated information. That's why we take a proactive approach in disseminating information to the public and clarifying media inquiries. During this operation, we have already held 34 press conferences, issued 486 posts on social media, and 210 press statements. We also make good use of videos, stand-up briefings, radio phone-ins, and media interviews to let the public learn more about our work. As much as we respect citizens' freedom of speech, we must all stress the importance of telling the truth. In response to online rumors and fake news, we have already made about 40 rebuttals. We do not tolerate any acts intended to slander our 30,000-strong organization, nor do we tolerate any fear-mongering tricks used by certain ill-intentioned people. We will continue to try our best to seek the truth in all we do. About Land on Wall, over the past 3 months, we have seen many citizens express their views by posting sticky notes on public space or walls of pedestrian walkways. While we respect citizen freedom of expression, it is clear that such locations are at risk of giving rise to clashes, scuffles, and even street fights. As a matter of fact, between June to 20th of September, there have been 40 criminal cases occurring at this sticky notes wall. We have arrested 57 people for offences like criminal damage, fighting in public place, common assault, and wounding. We are politically neutral and will not consider one's background, social status, and political stance when enforcing the law. We appeal to all members of the public to adopt peaceful and rational means of expression. Now I'll give a brief update on the arrest figures. So far, we have arrested 1,473 people, consisting of 1,173 males and 280 females, aged between 12 and 83 years old. In conclusion, here in Hong Kong, we always pride ourselves on being one of the safest and most stable societies in the world. Our track record shows we are capable of maintaining city's law and order. Thanks to public support and concert effort of the 30,000-strong organization, last year Hong Kong overall crime rate hit its lowest in 45 years. Internationally, Hong Kong has constantly been ranked among the top 10 globally in various different studies on safety, security, and reliability of police services. We enjoy such good reputation internationally for 3 reasons. First, Hong Kong has a fair and well-established judicial system. Secondly, the Hong Kong police have strict internal guidelines governing our powers and procedures and stringent training in line with international standards. Thirdly, there's effective check and balance against the police work. The Hong Kong police have a proud history of 175 years. It is very unfair for all malicious rumors and ungrounded reports to make a dent in our hard-earned reputation. We believe majority of the general public would like to see Hong Kong get back on track. The views of a small group of radical protesters do not represent the views of all Hong Kong people. We should all stand together to stamp out violence. Thank you.
好，問題時間開始。咁啊，每一組都問晒。第一位，藍色衫第2行，呢位女士。
TVB 啊，想問一問咧，即係聽日立法會議員君怡就喺全港18區搞一啲清潔活動啦，但係就向警方撤銷申請嗰個不反對通知書。想問下呢個清潔活動係咪超過3個人就構成非法集結？因為頭先警方咧就話即係尊重市民搞一啲清潔活動啦，其實係咪打住清潔牌頭就唔構成非法集結，做乜都得咧？第二就係即係有大律師咧就話期間如果有人喺嗰啲牆壁上邊咧係撕一啲嘅便利貼落嚟，就構成一個刑事毀壞啦。其實警方會唔會派人喺附近執法？第二條問題就係國際特赦組織咧就批評警方喺過去咧就幾個月拉咗過千人咧係濫捕啦。期間就即係包括用咗一啲即係撐開個被捕人士嘅眼，用鐳射筆照射啦，同埋即係打到佢哋骨折要送院啦。想問下警方覺得呢啲武力咧係咪冇問題啦？有冇就事件展開調查？組織你亦都覺得咧警方係有一個明顯嘅報復心態，想問下警方回應㗎。
我先將第1條題目交俾阿方 Sir， 咁第2條一陣翻嚟我會作答。
好，唔好意思啊，唔該阿 Sir。就聽日咧有我哋留意到咧，其實剛才喺我嘅簡述入邊都講過，我哋留意到咧有團體咧就發動咧，就聽日咧去到全港各區嘅連儂牆咧進行一個清潔嘅行動嘅。咁我哋如果剛才記者所講咧，就係是否會有非法集結嘅情況出現咧？如果單純從個法例上去睇咧，非法集結咧需要3個人或以上，而佢哋嘅出現咧係有呢一個破壞社會公眾安寧嘅情況出現咧，先至為之非法集結。咁如果其實我諗你係應該係想問話，即係佢亦都冇申請不反對通知書啊等等。咁啊就呢個事項咧，其實即係如果根據法例香港法例第245章公安條例入邊咧，公眾嘅活動咧係需要通知警務處長。如果例如喺一個公眾嘅集會，佢係超過50人，或者一個公眾遊行咧超過30人咧，佢係需要知會我哋警務處長嘅。咁我哋唔評論咧個別人士何解咧就冇就呢一個佢哋將會舉行嘅活動咧去知會警務處長啦。咁啊，我哋希望咧就任何公眾活動咧都可以喺一個和平、有序、合法嘅情況底下進行嘅。咁至於就係話頭先有提及到咧是否撕連儂牆就係構成呢一個刑事毀壞呢一個罪行咧？咁我相信你係講緊法例第28章刑事罪行條例入邊第60條嗰個罪行啦。咁啊今日阿李 Sir 唔喺度，咁我透過咧我自己過往刑偵嘅經驗啦，同埋呢一個我自己對相關法例嘅了解咧，咁啊分享少少，進行少少解説啦。咁就刑事毀壞嚟講咧，其實咧即係是否會構成呢一個罪行咧，我哋就不能夠一概而論嘅，確實。咁我哋咧需要視乎事件發生嘅時候咧，當時當刻個情況環境咧作出判斷。咁啊，其實之前李 Sir 喺佢以往記者會都有提及到啦，一個罪行咧是否存在咧？咁啊有2個好重要元素嘅，第一個就係叫犯案嘅動機啦 mens rea 啦，第二個咧就叫做呢個犯案佢當其時嘅行為 actus rea。咁要有呢2個元素咧，同時 出現呢，咁先至會有人呢干犯一個罪行嘅。呢一個係罪行嘅產生呢一個好重要嘅兩個元素嚟。咁另外就係話，究竟如果私連農場入邊嗰啲咪帽紙啊，嗰啲紙咧，是否已經構成呢個罪行咧？頭先講過啦，需要係透過當時嘅情況咧去作出判斷。咁另外一個好重要嘅考慮嘅因素咧，其實就係根據刑事罪行條例啊，都係第59條咧入邊嘅詮釋入邊所講咧，財產究竟係啲咩？我哋提及到刑事毀壞咁，必須就係講緊話有人毀壞他人嘅財產啦。咁啊，財產其中一個好重要個睇法咧，就係話當其時嘅擁有權係邊個咧？佢嘅控制權係屬於邊一個咧？咁如果有嗰啲招紙係貼咗喺牆上面而係冇人看管嘅，咁究竟當其時財產佢嘅擁有權係屬於咩人咧？我哋咧喺現場，如果係真係有事件發生嘅時候咧，去睇究竟會唔會有人干犯咗刑事毀壞呢個罪行嘅時候咧，係要根據頭先剛才所提及到咧各種嘅考慮因素咧去進行判斷嘅，好嘛？希望我解答到你嘅問題，唔該。
我諗我就住你第二條問題就去作出一啲回應啦。我哋留意到國際特赦組織咧相關嗰份報告嘅。咁就住個報告裡面提及嘅一啲指控咧，警隊非常重視，因為咧部分嘅指控咧係一啲相當嚴重嘅指控嚟嘅。咁我哋亦都好想去嚴肅跟進相關嘅一啲指控。咁但係我哋留意到呢個報告咧有幾點我想作出回應嘅。首先呢，我認為報告呢就佢嘅訪問呢，大概喺9月頭9月5號至12號進行。我相信佢裡面嘅個案係應該係講緊過去3個月發生嘅一啲事件，但係報告裡面呢，就反而唔係有好多嘅篇幅呢去講述緊過去3個月香港整體嘅社會環境。我諗大家都好清楚，香港過去3個月嘅社會環境係非常之複雜，亦都充斥住好多暴力嘅事件。香港人包括香港警隊面對前所未有面對緊嘅挑戰。好多唔同嘅示威活動裏面，俾部分嘅激進示威者騎劫，亦都係四處破壞，包括襲擊警務人員、包圍警察總部、包圍唔同嘅警署同埋警車。警方係有職責喺呢啲咁複雜嘅社會環境之下呢，作為執法者呢，必須要做執法嘅行動嘅。報告裡面呢，並唔多篇幅或者有詳細講解到呢相關一個社會狀況。喺呢個狀況下，警方嘅執法係面對相當大嘅困難。尤其是喺一啲暴力場面後，我哋經常作出一啲大規模嘅拘捕。大規模嘅拘捕之後呢，我可以講呢，就係無論喺溝通或者處理一啲相關嘅程序上呢，需要嘅時間比平日或者係平常嘅情況較為長呢，呢個大家可以理解。但係報告裡面冇交代到相關嘅一啲背景情況。我可以舉一個例子喺呢一度，就係我諗我哋平時作出一個拘捕呢，拘捕人返到警署之後呢，我哋係會容許去聯絡律師。如果佢冇都好，我哋會提供一個名冊俾佢揀一個律師呢去接觸嘅。咁律師一般都會知道佢喺邊個警署嘅，因為佢喺個警署打出嚟噶嘛。咁但係我諗喺最近一個咁複雜嘅環境之下，大家都一定見過，就係被捕人士趴喺個地下度或者俾人鎖起嘅時候呢，係會對住啲鏡頭大嗌自己個名，包括自己個身份證號碼。咁跟住呢，就會有唔同嘅律師代表呢，就會嘗試去揾佢哋。咁喺呢個情況之下呢，有多過一個嘅律師代表唔知佢送咗去邊呢？呢個係可以理解，亦都係遇見過好多次。咁我哋要安排一啲連佢自己都唔知道邊個會代表佢嘅律師去聯絡到佢呢，係需時嘅。而究竟佢係咪想俾嗰個律師代表呢？我哋都要問嘅。咁所以呢啲全部都係時間嚟嘅。咁所以我想講就係喺呢個情況之下呢，喺咁複雜嘅環境背景下呢，有部分嘅情況我哋比平日所需時間長咯。希望大家可以理解。咁第二個關於我嘅回應呢，就係我想講呢個報道裡面呢，係報告咗好多即係佢受訪者佢報稱去到警署面對過嘅一啲情況，但係報告裡面就反而好少提及到佢被捕嘅前因後果後理。 咁我諗好緊要咧，就係其實佢冇講到相關嘅被捕人其實係拉佢乜，又或者佢被捕前其實佢做緊啲乜，佢本身有冇曾經反抗，佢本身有冇曾經係嘗試毆打警察。咁呢啲往往佢嘅行為同事前發生啲咩事係會直接影響警務人員喺拘捕佢嘅時候，究竟佢使用咗乜嘢適當嘅武力？咁呢啲咧，我哋喺報告裏面咧都暫時係睇唔到。咁所以咧，就住佢相關有部分嘅指控咧，我暫時絕對唔能夠同意。咁最後一個我想講嘅我哋嘅觀察咧，就係報告裏面咧，其實咧有21個人咧就話曾經係被拘捕。咁但係我哋睇到咧，其實全部都係一啲匿名嘅投訴嚟。相關嘅資料亦都零碎。我哋就算睇嗰21個案件裏面，唔好話佢個名，就算係邊一日邊個地點，我哋都唔能夠揾到。所以警方並冇能力，亦都冇辦法就住咁零碎嘅一啲資訊咧，去作出一啲好詳細嘅跟進。就住個報告，我哋亦都同我哋投訴科去做咗一個初步嘅校對。根據現有嘅資料，暫時睇唔到投訴科而家接到嘅投訴咧，同相關嗰啲案件咧有任何直接嘅關係。咁所以對於一啲匿名嘅指控係真定係假，我哋根本無從得知，亦都暫時冇辦法證實。咁所以咧，我就住呢一個報告，我想喺度做一個呼籲咧，我好希望相關嘅人士直接同警方提供資料。我哋對相關咁嚴重嘅指控非常之重視，亦都希望不偏不倚、嚴肅咁跟進每一個案件。我哋有一個好有效嘅機制，係監警會條例，亦都有投訴科。我希望佢能夠盡快同警方聯絡，將相關嘅指控嘅詳情交俾我哋，我哋必定會嚴肅咁樣跟進。
下位，第二項 RTHK。
港台想問翻，即係聽日18區咧，即係對人話發起清潔行動啦。咁其實即係呢一個18區個範圍都幾大，而香港即係連儂牆嘅即係數目而家都比較多。其實即係警察而家係可以點樣即係按住各個區嘅情況，即係有冇收集到情報咧，去留意住個情況？邊一區可能係發生過衝突個機會係比較多？即係如果有人係作私指嗰啲行為，即係撕去啲文宣，再出現一啲即係衝突嘅行為，會唔會係直接執法咧？同埋即係會唔會話頭先都講到方 Sir 都講到，其實都涉及連儂牆嗰啲嘅衝突啊，其實都比較多。會唔會係直接叫可能相關嘅人士係唔好出嚟，即係唔好做相關嘅行為咧？另外就係即係都有講警方即係日前都有接受到訪問啦，內地傳媒嘅訪問就有講到話，即係記者即係有部分人咧就濫用記者身份啦，即係可能話挑撥到現場嘅情緒。想問下，即係其實會唔會咁樣咧？係又話認唔到即係示威者或者係記者嘅身份咧，其實係入咗記者數，令到咧即係可能記者咧都俾人咧係有一個係示威者一部分嘅印象，同埋都有講到話係話嗰個統一發放記者證嗰個問題咧，即係而家係冇呢個咁嘅單位，會唔會話其實日後警方係有意咁樣做咧？唔該。
我先請阿方 Sir 答第一題，翻嚟我會答翻第二條。唔該。
好啊，唔該阿 Sir。都了解咧，大家咧其實對聽日有人發起呢一個18區清理連儂牆呢一個做法咧係有相當大嘅關注嘅。咁啊，其實咧我哋不如再睇一睇咧，究竟宏觀啲去睇呢一件事啊。其實咧就本身咧就張貼連儂牆，即係喺一啲公眾地方啊，例如隧道啊、行人天橋等等咧，即係張貼呢啲告示或者海報去表達訴求呢一個做法咧，本身咧其實已經係違反咗香港法例第132章公共衛生及市政條例入邊嘅其中一條嘅104A 條。咁啊究竟呢一個做法是否恰當呢？咁就其實我哋都不嚟到呢一刻咧，我哋都不再評論啦。咁但係就係話我哋警方嘅立場，其實喺過往好多次不同嘅機會入邊咧，我哋都講過，就係話我哋係絕對係尊重市民去表達佢哋嘅訴求嘅權利同埋自由嘅。我哋好希望咧能夠社會上面每一方每一位咧，當佢去表達訴求、發表佢哋聲音嘅時候咧，都係透過一個和平、理性、有秩序嘅形式去進行。 張貼告示喺連儂牆度係一個表達嘅方式，可能咧喺有啲人其他市民調翻轉會覺得就係話去清理連儂牆，將清理呢啲告示咧，亦都係去表達呢個訴求嘅一個方式。咁最重要嘅係咩呢？我哋對任何訴求、任何政治嘅背景呢，係冇任何嘅取態嘅。我哋呢係絕對政治中立。我哋唔希望見到嘅呢，就係暴力事件。我哋唔希望咧喺任何地方喺任何連儂牆入邊見到好似過往咁樣咧有一啲暴力嘅事件發生，因為一啲政見嘅問題咧喺連儂牆度咧有爭拗、有打交，甚至乎咧係有啲好暴力嘅案件發生咗，有人受傷。呢一樣咧唔淨只係我哋警方唔想見到，我相信咧廣大嘅市民咧都係不樂見嘅。希望咧喺聽日或者係應該咁講啦，喺往後所有公眾活動，任何去表達訴求嘅活動入邊咧，大家都係用一個理性嘅態度去進行。希望咧大家喺表達訴求嘅同時咧，都係會尊重其他人嘅權利。咁我哋咧警方咧就聽日或者往後所有公眾集會咧，就正如頭先記者都有提及到咧，我哋會根據我哋嘅情報搜集啦，我哋都會透過唔同嘅方式咧去收集多啲不同嘅情報，從而咧就去作出一個最適當嘅人手安排，好唔好？希望答到呢個問題，唔該。
頭先你就住你第二個問題，我諗我係關注亦都關心記者會唔會喺即係現場或者俾相關嘅人士去誤認佢哋為一個即係參與示威嘅人嘅。一路我哋都係擔心呢樣嘢，因為有部分嘅示威者，我哋係好清晰見到佢咧係會去假扮記者。咁我諗我都唔重複，但我好簡略咁樣去嘗試講翻喺對上嘅記者會裏面我提及過咧。其實我哋係留意到第一咧係我哋嘗試係咪應該係曾經接收過，亦都我哋曾經自己執過一啲咧記者證咧。咁嗰啲記者證我哋確認咗咧，相關嘅機構咧係冇嗰個記者存在。咁即係話有人嘗試去用另外一個身份去扮嗰個機構嘅記者，咁呢個係有發生嘅。咁第二咧就係我哋嘅傳媒聯絡隊喺現場咧，的而且確好多時嘗試去同一啲我哋相信係記者人士接觸嘅時候，佢係會走嘅。咁嗰啲我哋確認唔到佢嘅身份。咁第三類咧就係有啲我哋完全唔認識啊，即係大家傾都好完全唔清楚，但係亦都唔喺一啲即係體制下我哋見過嘅一啲傳媒機構。咁往往嗰啲機構嗰個行為同大家在座就爭好遠嘅，佢哋係冇你哋即係或者大部分嘅傳媒係咁明白或者咁專業。而第四種咧就係好明顯着住一啲黃色背心扮記者，可能冇你哋嗰啲標誌或者字句，但係佢嘅行為完全係犯緊法。咁呢啲我哋亦都有，亦都拉過有一啲案件係處理當中。咁所以我諗我喺6月至今同幾個唔同傳媒嘅協會同相關嘅一啲傳媒機構嘅一啲管理層都有見過面同商討過咧。其實我諗而家其中一樣最擔心嘅就係有人刻意喺個一啲示威或者暴力現場裏面咧去假扮記者。咁呢個我係好希望同相關你哋嘅業界可以去解決呢個問題，因為咧唔解決呢個問題，事實頭先你個問題係會真係令到其他人咧係有呢個誤解。咁第二我都想藉呢個機會講埋咧，就係其實喺過去呢幾個星期，包括啱啱對上呢個週末裏面咧，其實我係見到有汽油彈爭啲掟中喺灣仔軍器廠街橋對出嘅橋上面嘅一班記者。啱啱我哋就喺警總望出去望到，就爭啲掟中，大家都要逃跑。咁另外喺幾次嘅週末，其實都見到類似嘅情況。我希望藉呢個機會再一次即係提醒記者係必須要將自己同一啲危險點即係離開，唔好靠近一啲咁嘅相關嘅危險點。咁因為警方喺處理緊一啲咁危急、咁暴力嘅事件場合下咧，我哋係好難同一時間又要兼顧你哋嘅安全，又要去協助你哋嘅工作。咁所以可能有一啲情況下，大家有誤會咧，希望大家理解。唔該。
第三行藍色恤衫呢位男士，請你講出來自邊個機構嘅？
I'm with the Voice of America. I have two questions, please. First one is we have seen lots of footages showing the policemen beating the protesters when they're completely defenseless. They did not have a helmet on. They did not have any protection. They were not running away either. So even these people, even they beat police, even they kill somebody, is appropriate to beat them up when they are completely defenseless and they're not running away. That's the first question. Second question is, I've talked to protesters, and they're saying that the police, the government buildings, and the MTR are legitimate targets because they represent the symbol, in their view, of repressive regime or tyranny. Therefore, it's their right to target these targets. We noticed that they did not really target like ordinary stores or people on the street or burn the buses. So because they don't consider those are legitimate targets. So could you answer those two questions? Thank you.
Okay. I'll first answer the first question. Regarding the use of force by the police, I think the acquisition of force is basically, basically sometimes a snapshot in a news report or a few seconds or minutes in a video might make it look like the force is excessive, but it's really out of context. When taken as a whole, basically whether it's fully justified or not, it depends after the investigations. And in short, I would like to reiterate again that if protesters don't use violence, police don't use force. I think according to our use of force guideline, we have strict guidelines and stringent training for the use of force. And we have two major principles, i.e. the necessity and proportionality. And when protesters cause danger to the public safety, including the police, like what we can see very clearly, that they threw petrol bombs direct to the police officers, and they threw bricks, as well as they throw a corrosive substance into police officers. I think it's necessary for the police to use force to stop their violence and contain the situations. And basically, once the objective of using force has been achieved, we stop using the force. I think that's what I can say about the first questions. Regarding the second question, basically I certainly disagree with your views, because I think the violence is indiscriminate, random, and reckless. The rioters have indeed damaged ordinary shops and neighborhoods in the past. If I remember correctly, take an example, in August, some rioters damaged a few ground floor shops in Tsuen Wan. They broke metal gates and scared the glass panes of those shops. And I can remember there is another example in Wan Chai a few days ago, over the last weekend. A middle-aged man who basically did not only share his views and with different political views of the mobs. He was kicked, punched, and stormed by 10 of the rioters to the point until he was unconscious. I think this is certainly not fair. It's random and reckless violence. And police condemn all forms of acts and violence regardless of their motives. And that's why I think I cannot agree with your views in the second question.
Could I just quick follow-up, please? Quick follow-up, please. Quick follow-up. Thank you. Regarding the first question, your answer, the Amnesty International actually said very clearly, the evidence leaves little room for doubt. The police is in apparent thirst for retaliation. So, in your view, if the protesters beat up the police, okay, just injure them, is it fair for the police to beat back when the protesters are already defenseless? They're not running away. They don't have any weapons in their hand at the time. Is that okay? Thank you.
I think at some moment or at some time when the protester was not running away or was not attacking the police. It doesn't mean that he was subdued. Because in a lot of situations, you can see that even we stop that guy, and if we not handcuff him, basically he can escape. And even some other protesters will attack police and help them to escape. And that's why I think our police officers basically just use the minimum force to totally control the protester before they cease using the force.
今日最後3位啊，首先係後邊 Cable。
你好，有線電視，想問翻關於兩個問題啊。第一個咧就係關於翻屯門遊行嗰個問題，即係聽日嗰個屯門遊行。咁而家上訴委員會就批准咗嗰個遊行聽日會縮短個時間啦。想問翻警方，其實而家上訴委員會要求縮短個時間，你哋覺得係咪減低咗你哋原本覺得有嘅風險？另外第二個即係呢同一個問題啦，就係屯門嗰度。咁其實而家批出咗個上訴許可，咁但係呢個時間少咗，咁個風險一嚟頭先問係咪低咗啦，二嚟就係其實而家警方經常就係以話作出個風險評估對公眾安全有影響嘅情況底下就唔批嗰個不反對通知書。其實會唔會係高估咗呢啲遊行集會嘅風險咧？因為見過之前喺8月18號咧。民陣嗰個遊行咧，你哋都係批出咗個批出咗個反對通知書嘅。咁但係當日咧就除咗一啲佔咗馬路，因為太多人嘅關係，咁之後咧都係和平散去嘅。所以想知係咪有一個策略就係用呢個批出反對通知書嘅原因去減少呢啲遊行集會，去令到呢啲集會少啲咧？呢個第一個問題。第二個問題就係想問關於啲謠言嘅問題，因為都花咗好長篇幅去澄清經常喺而家網上見到一啲謠言。第一個問題就係關於831，其實由事發到而家咧20日，但係見到政府各個部門包括警方都不停咁出嚟澄清呢啲謠言。咁其實會唔會係因為當初警方劃嘅封鎖區太大，令到傳媒係影唔到當時警方執法嘅情況咧，令到個市民係有擔憂。警方會唔會考慮咧，就係將嗰個封鎖區收窄少少，好似平時喺地上執法咁樣，喺唔阻你哋嘅拘捕行動情況底下，俾傳媒可以有限度咁樣拍攝，咁啊可以你哋又做到嘢，傳媒影到嘢，市民又可以睇到啲畫面，令到呢啲謠言冇咁容易滋生到出嚟咧。第二樣就係關於嗰啲又話打人啊，又話傷人啊，又話強姦啊、殺人啲謠言咧。我聽到你哋有陣時會被記者問完之後咧，你哋好快咧就會答冇呢啲事，同埋強烈譴責呢啲謠言咁樣啦。咁會唔會其實因為而家喺警民關係咁脆弱嘅基礎底下咧，你哋就咁一句話冇同埋強烈譴責咧，係唔足以令到市民相信？你哋會唔會調查完或者甚至主動調查呢啲案件？因為都可能涉及嚴重嘅刑事成分啦。調查完將呢啲情況，例如你話閉路電視啦，問咗邊啲人嘅口供啦，攞出嚟擺晒出嚟俾大家睇，咁市民會信服咯。會唔會考慮呢啲做法？最後想問埋就係剛才咧。謠言嗰度就話另一個就係話一啲濫捕，即係亂咁拉人啊嘅情況出現。咁頭先都公佈咗拉咗1400幾人啦，其實真正有落 charge 嘅係得207人，少過1成半，即係少過15% 嘅人係有落 charge 嘅。咁其實會唔會呢個咧，亦就係正正反映到而家網上講話拉咗人，咁令到佢哋嚇親咁咪唔出嚟咯？同埋會唔會有一個數字咧係話翻俾大家聽，有冇啲係拉咗調查員，其實佢哋係無辜冇事，唔牽涉喺一啲罪案成分底下放咗嘅人呢一啲數字咧？唔該。
我第一條先揾阿 Madam C 答啦，咁啊第三條我揾阿江 Sir 答完，最後翻嚟我會答第二條。唔該。
咁就其實就每一個遊行集會嘅申請咧，警方咧都會作出獨立嘅風險評估啦，係去防止有激進嘅示威者咧係喺首先參與完一個和平嘅遊行集會之後咧，就係趁機去搞事，造成咧係暴力衝突嘅。咁喺過去嘅公眾活動咧，都有確實咧係發生過暴力嘅事件，而示威者咧亦都咧係將暴力升級啦，掟汽油彈啦、縱火啦，係圍毆一啲咧係影佢哋相嘅人。咁評估咧係有根有據嘅，咁我哋都會考慮嗰個嘅遊行路線啦、地形啦、路面嘅大細啦、 參與嘅人數等等。咁希望咧係可以喺防止活動裏面咧係做好係可能出現嘅暴力衝突，同埋以及咧係市民表達意見嘅自由，兩者之間咧係作出去平衡。咁我哋警隊重申咧，我哋尊重上訴委員會嘅決定。咁至於佢縮短咗嗰個嘅遊行時間咧，係我哋咧警方咧係會作出相應嘅部署咧，係盡量去協助咧主辦者咧係去舉行聽日嘅嗰個公眾遊行嘅。
好，就住嗰個嘅拘捕數字啦，咁我之前有提過啦，行動至今我哋就拘捕咗1474人啦，而我哋總共檢控咗係207人嘅，係。咁我呢度要好清晰咁樣講啊，我哋檢控咗嗰207人，唔會係我哋嚟緊只係檢控呢207人。我哋檢控呢207人之前呢，我哋其實係有同律政處去研究過初步嘅證據。如果已經係有足夠證據可以檢控，而另外有關嘅罪行或者指控係嚴重嘅，我哋會選擇即時檢控，希望法庭可以盡快處理，希望法庭係可以因應嗰個案件嘅嚴重程度，去俾一啲嘅擔保條件。例如宵禁等等嘅嘢，而其他我經常喺度所講，有唔同嘅被捕人士係保釋候查嘅，係啦，咁候查就係代表案件仍在調查當中。我哋唔排除另外嗰1200人左右，我哋之後有調查之後有足夠證據嘅，我哋會繼續檢控嘅。咁所以如果而家呢刻純粹係講警方只係檢控咗207人呢，係言之尚早啦。咁而你話究竟有冇數字係邊一啲係暫時釋放咗嘅？咁而家呢，我哋暫時未有數字喺手嘅，因為呢，其實喺呢啲暫時被釋放嘅人裏邊呢，又係唔代表我哋唔再調查落去嘅，因為有個別嘅被捕人士佢係拒保。咁啊，於是乎我哋喺咁嘅情況底下呢，就會將佢暫時釋放啫，就唔代表我哋唔跟進相關案件。咁所以呢，我並唔同意話我哋而家檢控得200幾人就有一個結論呢，就係我哋警方喺拘捕嘅時候呢，就會唔會係過於草率呢？咁呢個我係唔認同嘅。咁最後我補充一下，咁頭先呢位記者有提及過，就係喺我哋做一啲嘅公眾活動嘅風險評估裏邊，咁啊有啲時候呢，就係我哋係提出咗反對，到最後佢哋係和平嘅。咁其實我諗呢個都係我哋樂於見到嘅，即係我意思就係最後嗰個活動係和平進行而冇任何暴力事件。咁但係同樣地，我諗我好簡單咁去講返，大家亦都會即刻記得起。亦都係有好多嘅公眾活動，係喺我哋批出咗不反對通知書之後，到最後係演變成極之暴力嘅事件嘅。咁唔通我又話咁又係我哋嘅評估錯誤咩？係咪？咁所以我諗我哋警方喺唔同嘅公眾活動裏邊進行嘅風險評估都係獨立嘅，而我哋亦都係好希望每一個公眾活動都係和平有序嘅。係啦，咁有任何暴力事件，我諗唔單止係警方，呢個亦都係社會唔希望見到嘅。咁我最後交翻俾阿鄭 Sir。
好，就住翻你第二條嗰條題目，你就講開謠言，跟住跳咗去831嗰個關於採訪嗰個位置啦。咁我諗第一樣嘢，我必須要講清楚咧，警方係絕對尊重採訪自由嘅。我諗喺過去3個月，類似太子站嘅情況咧，大家我諗都講唔出幾多個。咁呢一個咧，好明顯咧，我哋係根據緊咧，其實警方係根據緊我哋香港法例《警隊條例》第10條咧，其實係賦予我哋咧係採取任何合適嘅措施咧，去偵查刑事嘅罪行。呢個係包括我哋處理案件同埋罪案現場。咁暫時去劃一個封鎖區，限制其他一般人嘅出入，去令到我哋能夠去做偵查咧，呢個我諗都唔係一個新嘅事物。其實喺經常唔同嘅事件裏面，我哋都有做過。咁如果就翻嚟話831當日，其實咧，首先第一樣嘢，我諗我哋要考慮咧，就係劃嗰條封鎖線嘅時候咧，就係當陣時嘅情況其實係比較多被捕人士，場面亦都係非常混亂。 咁要考慮埋搜證嘅考慮啦。其實如果大家有印象，其實當日好多人喺現場換衫啦，亦都有好多袋掉咗喺度。部分嘅拘捕人士身上面有啲小朋友身上面係有汽油彈，而亦都喺個月台上高執到相關一啲嘅攻擊性武器嘅。咁考慮到搜證同埋整體嗰個保安考慮呢，當刻我哋決定認為喺個月台做一個罪案現場做搜證同保安係合適嘅。咁亦都想提一提咧，其實當日大家如果睇翻啲相關嘅影片咧，應該好清晰咧。其實地鐵、港鐵本身自己不停有廣播咧，係話佢封咗站，要求所有人離開。咁嗰刻除咗警務人員以外，其實咧港鐵嘅職員亦都係即係叫緊唔同嘅人士離開。咁我諗我哋嗰刻都係即係除咗我哋自己嘅工作，亦都係配合緊港鐵嘅工作。咁亦都咁講啦，如果回想翻，我諗港鐵月台我哋成個封鎖呢一個安排，亦都唔係歷史嘅第一次。即係我諗大家如果有印象咧，喺早幾年尖沙咀嘅港鐵站有人喺月台自焚嗰次咧，其實我哋都係成個港鐵站嗰個月台咧，都係全部封咗去搜證嘅。咁我諗即係大家唔好刻意或者太多揣測，即係呢件事係咪就特別有問題，所以我哋要咁做咧。其實即係無論係法律上當日嘅考慮同埋以往嘅慣例咧，其實我哋都係有相關嘅處理嘅做法嘅。咁你第二樣嘢提及到就係一啲謠言嘅有啲謠言，我哋係咪應該唔好咁早下定論咧？其實我諗我哋好多時咧，我哋講緊嗰個唔係一個定論，而係我哋絕對希望每一個謠言咧都調查嘅。亦都係尤其是有啲嚴重嘅指控咧，我哋好希望揾出真相，因為個真相可以係我哋同事犯錯，亦都可以係嗰個人誣蔑警隊。呢個真相對還我哋一個清白咧係好重要。咁但係即係最緊要咧就係當你要去證明一樣唔存在嘅嘢咧，我諗大家咧應該係知道係相對困難嘅。咁第一樣嘢就係要即係投訴或者講呢個謠言嘅人先站出嚟啦。如果佢永遠都係匿埋喺口罩後面，永遠都係匿埋喺個電腦後面。話會嚟報警，或者有人代表佢嚟報警，但係永遠都唔出現嘅咧。咁我諗警方就住呢啲可能根本唔存在嘅指控咧，其實係好難。希望大家明白，好難開始調查。咁所以我諗我哋就住一向以嚟嘅一啲我哋叫做有啲就係完全錯誤，但係佢仍然講嘅指控啦。另外一種咧就係根本上冇任何證據顯示發生過嘅指控咧，我哋絕對希望相關嘅人士行出嚟俾證據我哋係必定會公平公正咁處理。
我想 follow up 131嘅喎。想問翻，即係其實831當然我哋明白，即係警方有法定權力去封一個封鎖線啦，亦都知道曾經係封鎖成個月台。咁但係我想知，而家事後睇翻，你哋檢討會唔會覺得，哇原來劃封一個咁大範圍嘅封鎖線，令到傳媒影唔到呢啲事物咧，係會造成咁大謠言？事後你哋睇翻會唔會檢討翻呢個做法，睇下會唔會可以放鬆少少，俾啲傳媒影到少少，咁令到個傳言唔會煲得咁勁？即係你哋會唔會考慮或者事後檢討呢一樣嘢咧？另外頭先就話去證實一啲冇存在嘅嘢困難啦，即係例如會唔會有一啲係，例如喺一啲議員記者會上面講到邊個月邊日喺邊一個例如邊一個囚禁嘅中心裏面出現啲咩事？你哋會唔會可以問，即係例如問過你哋手足話係冇啲咁嘅事嘅時候，你咪講話啲手足曾經話過點樣點樣，又或者睇過邊一啲閉路電視有一啲截圖就話當刻冇啲咁嘅情況發生，會唔會考慮有啲咁樣嘅做法，去令到即係增強翻市民信心咧？而家最大問題係個信心問題啫。
好，我諗就住第一個問題咧，就我覺得當刻咧咁多被捕人士，亦都個場面咁混亂，亦都有咁多嘅證物喺成個月台裏面咁多唔同位置咧，我覺得當刻佢哋個決定咧，而家就咁睇咧，我覺得佢哋冇錯嘅。咁但係你頭先嘅建議非常之好，就係如果你話就住將來唔同嘅事件，我哋係咪應該可以同即係相關嘅記者代表，我哋可以再討論？希望我永遠都話，即係其實絕對係有進步空間嘅，我哋可以。咁係咪可以將來有咁嘅情況下，我哋可以再去討論呢？我呢個絕對同意，亦都好願意同大家去做一啲磋商。咁希望下次有同樣嘅情況之下呢，你第一時間揾我哋在場嘅傳媒聯絡隊。如果唔得，打電話俾我哋都得嘅，我哋盡可能去現場同你哋去磋商。咁但係我就咁睇當日嘅情況，我睇唔到一個好大嘅問題。咁第二個問題，你就係話我哋可唔可以應該要做啲基本嘅即係調查，跟住做翻一啲回應咧？其實我哋有， 我諗就住早排某議員帶一個全身包晒嘅女士出嚟，話喺搜身期間搜咗15至30分鐘，亦都話有10幾個男士企喺房門外，當佢出嚟嘅時候，用一啲唔係太好嘅眼神望佢咧。其實我哋就住嗰個指控咧，其實真係做咗一啲，因為佢比較清晰知道我哋係邊一個情況。咁我哋係真係有去睇翻相關嘅一啲片段，證實嗰啲全部都係假嘅。咁我哋亦都喺唔同嘅場合有作出澄清。咁我明白咧嗰個事件咧而家仲有跟進嘅，咁所以我就唔再即係其後嘅我唔再喺度補充啦。唔該你。
最後兩位，Alfred。
Hi. So my first question is regarding the Amnesty International report. You just now earlier you answered Voice of America. You said that the report was not complete because it omitted the facts, the situation where the complicated situation, protesters resisting arrest, attacking police. But the reports, the examples cited in the reports are within the detention centers or police stations. So did your answer mean that because the protesters beat up police, attacked police, or they engaged in some sort of violence, they deserve to be beaten up while in detention? Or can you give us a little bit more explanation on that? And you also said that there are strict guidelines for police to follow and also stringent training, but it's whether they follow the guidelines. So are you going to proactively launch an investigation into all these allegations? Say, for example, you talked about masked people, anonymous people making such complaints. So are you going to initiate, because Amnesty International is here, so are you going to speak to them to try and find out more about what happened? And the second question is about Lawmaker Junior's Ho having this cleanup campaign tomorrow. He mentioned that there's no need to apply for a letter of no objection from the police. So can you clarify whether that's true, whether he needs police approval for proposed public activity like that? And can you talk about the preparations on the expected violence or confrontations across Hong Kong? And my third question is that you said the Hong Kong Journalists Association is being unfair in its statement on what happened in North Point. One of the crux of the statement was that while at the scene, it's caught on footage that the attackers were let go. And that's why the attackers could attack more people afterwards, before he's arrested. So can you clarify that point? Why did police do that? Why did police let the attacker go in the first place? And also, you updated us on the number of people arrested, especially linked to those who arrested journalists. Are all of them charged? Thank you.
First invite Mr. Fong to answer the second question, and I will answer the first and third one later.
Okay, thank you, sir. So according to the Public Order Ordinance, the Cap 245 of the laws of Hong Kong, there were several occasions or several types of public meetings that have to require the organizer to notify our Commissioner of Police. The first one is for public possession. If the participants are anticipated to be more than 30 people, there is a requirement for the organizer to 30 to notify police. And for public meeting, if the number of participants is expected to be over 50, the organizer should do the same to notify the Commissioner of Police. That is the requirement of the law. So we cannot speculate the reason why the organizer for the event tomorrow, why he is not going to submit a notification to our commissioner, but for sure there is it is likely that the number of participants is anticipated to be below 50 if there is a public meeting. As I've mentioned for several times in my speech before, we would like to advise all people, all members of the public, when they are going to hold a public meeting, when they are going to express their view in whatever sense, we would like to advise them, encourage them to organize their activities in a peaceful manner. We respect the rights of expression. We respect the freedom of expression and demonstration. But we would like to say that that is the public value for all events to be conducted in a peaceful and orderly manner. So I hope my explanation and answers is to your satisfaction. Thank you.
First invite Mr. Kwong to answer the third one.
Yeah. Actually, when the police handles a large-scale disturbances or violence scene, we have to consider quite a number of factors, including the available manpower and the level of violence resort by the violence protester or the opposite party. Our main aim is to ensure that we could control the situation as soon as possible and to avoid further violent actions by any of the parties. Our officers always encounter the difficulties to have a full understanding of the situation because they do not have the privilege to watch all the live video coverage like us. So they could only assess the situation based on the information available as in, and as I have mentioned, their main aim is to control the situation and to avoid the further spread of violence. But please be rest assured that even if no immediate arrest was made as in, it doesn't mean that the police are not going to pursue the case. Just like the North Point incident happened in the last weekend, we have so far arrested a total of 33 people involving in this event, and in which 5 of them are suspected of attacking reporters at scene. And also, a number of these arrests are made after a thorough investigation by our criminal investigation team. So I have to reiterate here that sometimes we may encounter difficulties to control the situation or to make immediate arrests as in, but we will ensue every single case of violent incident, and we will try our best to investigate every case thoroughly and to make any possible arrests.
So the 5 of them, have they been charged, and what are their charges? Their charges if they're charged.
I'm sorry that I don't have this information in hand, but maybe I could reply this through the newsroom. Thanks.
Okay, for your first question, I think I must clarify that I did not say that police can beat up arrested person in police custody, and no matter what they did, actually did before they were arrested. What I mentioned or said about this report is that police are aware of this report released by that particular international organization. And we see some missing links in that report, and that's why I cannot agree with all the allegations. Those missing links, including they basically did not mention clearly about the social environment in Hong Kong in recent months. And I must re-emphasize that we are facing unprecedented challenge to the rule of law. And police are duty bound to enforce the law impartially in these situations. But given this social environment where a large amount of radical protesters break the law recklessly, it is increasingly difficult for police to enforce the law. And what you ask in your question, I think I would like to give you a feedback that we are aware the organization claimed that they have interviewed 38 people and 21 arrested people. And the report gives no details on their identities or even exact day or location of their arrest. I would say that such anonymous report are unfair for the police because as we have no way to verify the information or even do the fact check because they just mentioned about the month, June or July, and the district he or she was arrested. They didn't mention the exact location. The lack of this basic information, like what I said, the exact day and location of the arrest, make it impossible for the police to follow up and investigate into such allegations. I mentioned before that we are very concerned about the allegations, and we pledged that we will look into every single case and allegation very seriously and critically. But basically, we need to get the details. And that's why, if evidence warrants, we will take further investigation, definitely.
But Amnesty International, one of the points that Amnesty International made was that people are afraid to come forward because there's this broad fear that of retaliation or broad fear among the public or those who made the allegations. So are you going to go ahead and get in touch with Amnesty International, maybe to get more information from the people who they interviewed, or you're just going to stop there and just after your denial or your rebuttal on the report?
I don't think they don't need to be fear about the Hong Kong Police Force. We investigate all our cases fairly and professionally. I would suggest that they should come forward to the police and give us all the details. I pledge that we would look into every single allegations and cases very seriously and professionally.
今日嘅最後一題，好，嗰邊第二行間條衫呢位。
幾位你好，係幾位你好啊！外評嗰日報嘅，咁其實首先就想問翻，即係頭先國際特赦組織嗰份報告嗰度啦。咁因為報告入邊都提及一啲情節咧，咁就涉及一啲警員就威嚇要電擊下體，咁啊同埋即係要求事主用鐳射筆照眼。咁如果呢一啲指控屬實嘅話，想問係咪一啲警方嗰個即係扣查程序一啲可接受嘅行為咧？咁同埋即係謝 Sir 你頭先都講過啊，目前而家手上面因為太少資料，咁啊令到你哋冇辦法去主動作出調查。咁其實可唔可以澄清一下，即係你哋會即係今次呢件事件入邊，始終有18個人係因為被扣查之後受傷，都係一個唔少嘅數字啊。咁警方嗰邊會採取咩措施或者咩行動去即係了解或者繼續跟進呢件事件？咁另一方面又有關聽日個清潔日嗰個行動。咁因為咧過去一個禮拜入邊都有唔少嘅網上消息嘅講到啦。咁有一啲即係嚟自香港以外嘅人士可能嚟香港，咁亦都有啲短信嘅群組嘅截圖咧，咁就講到咧，就話擺明要去某一啲地區就襲擊一啲政見不同嘅人士啊。咁而家社會上面有片恐慌咧，就覺得話呢一個清潔日就係一個破壞公眾安寧嘅行為嚟嘅。咁如果聽日嗰個清潔日嗰個行動持續，咁喺呢一啲證據，即係已經有呢一啲咁嘅傳聞底下，依然有呢個行動做，咁其實會唔會係構成一個非法集結？咁如果鼓吹呢一個行動嘅人會唔會涉及煽動非法集結咧？咁同埋即係喺警方個防罪部署上面啦，咁根據呢一啲一連串嘅即係都可能會出現啲暴力事件啊或者高風險嘅衝突嘅場面嘅情況下，咁警方可唔可以解釋下，即係因應聽日個情況，究竟你哋已經採取咗咩部署，即係可以令到市民安心嘅咧？唔該。
我會先答第一條啦，咁跟住就方 Sir 會答第二條嘅。呢位記者頭先提及過嗰啲報告裡面所講嘅指控，如果係一啲你話警方嘅人員對一啲被捕人士咁樣做，絕對唔能夠接受，係啦，亦都係非法嘅。咁我諗而家最重要嘅頭先我都即係好清楚講，其實相關嘅報道裡面咧係有啲部分咧係缺乏咗，包括就係即係其實相關牽涉嗰21個或者你提及嘅18個人都好咧。其實我哋係暫時未有佢一啲即係嘅資料啦，咁亦都其實就算喺報告裡面就住一個地點或者一個時間咧，其實都係比較上係 唔清晰嘅，即係我諗報告裏面有陣時講某個月份、某個地區，就連個日子或者時間都冇，咁變咗我哋去嘗試揾翻啲相關嘅人士咧，係個過程裏面係有困難嘅。咁可以話俾你聽，我哋係將呢份報告同我哋嘅投訴科咧係做咗一個初步嘅校對嘅，暫時唔能夠睇到同現有嘅投訴裏面嘅人咧，同呢啲人係有吻合。咁我哋好努力咁嘗試喺我哋嘅一啲嗰啲叫做記錄裏面咧，嘗試希望揾，因為我哋就住個報告裏面所指嘅咁嚴重嘅指控咧，其實警方係非常之重視，亦都係好有決心咧，喺足夠嘅資料同埋資訊下咧，我哋係必定會嚴肅咁去跟進去理解呢個事件。咁最有效嘅方法其實咧就係即係希望相關嘅人士咧一定要挺身而出走出嚟俾一啲資訊我哋，咁我哋先即係可以做到去即係根據佢呢個指控咧去作出一啲調查。咁就住第二條問題，我交俾阿方 Sir。
好，唔該阿 Sir。剛才咧，其實我哋都喺我嘅主稿入邊咧，我哋都有提及到咧，就係話我哋留意到咧，喺過往三個月入邊咧，涉及到呢啲連儂牆入邊嘅一啲案件咧，係都頗多嘅，有成40宗。咁當中咧，我哋都就呢一類型嘅案件咧，我哋總共咧就拘捕咗57人。咁頭先都提及到啦，其實佢哋當中涉及嘅案件咧，其實都係一啲暴力嘅案件嚟嘅，例如公眾地方打鬥啊、襲擊啊，甚至乎係一啲傷人嘅案件。咁所以咧，我哋評估咧就係呢一類型嘅地方咧，都係一啲比較相對高風險嘅地方嚟嘅。咁究竟咧會唔會話聽日呢一個有團體所發起嘅呢一個所謂嘅清潔連儂牆嘅行動咧，就係等同呢一個非法集結，就正如剛才記者所講，等同呢個非法集結咧。咁我覺得就暫時我認為咧就不能夠一概而論嘅。咁都再重複多一次啦。其實根據香港法例第245章公安條例入邊咧，非法集結咧就係3人嘅結集，然之後咧係有呢一個破壞社會安寧嘅情況出現咧，就先至為之非法集結嘅。咁如果市民大家都係理性和平咁樣去表達佢哋嘅訴求咧，佢哋嘅集結理論上就不會構成呢一個罪行，而呢個情況咧，我相信咧都係我哋香港社會所樂見。每個人咧都有自己表達佢哋嘅訴求嘅權利啦。我哋亦都係對不同嘅政見嘅，我哋警方咧對不同政見嘅人士咧，其實咧都係相當之尊重嘅。只要大家係用一個有秩序、和平嘅方式進行咧，我哋都希望咧係能夠向來我哋一個做法咧都係予以一個最大嘅協助。咁但係咧，我哋都要再重申多一次，甚至乎係向個社會咧發出一個警告，就係話，倘若係有人咧作違法嘅事情，或者係訴諸於暴力嘅説話咧，我哋一定會嚴正執法。咁其實咧，我哋嘅情報搜集咧都有透過不同嘅方式嘅，咁希望大家都唔使擔心。咁大家留意到嘅資訊咧，我哋都有留意到嘅。咁我哋都會透過唔同嘅方式啦，喺唔同嘅地方咧就有部署不同嘅警力，根據咧現場嘅情況咧作出適當嘅部署。咁遇到有呢個突發性嘅事件嘅時候咧，我哋希望咧能夠就正如我哋一如以往啦，就希望用最快嘅方式咧去協助有需要嘅市民。咁但係最後都不厭其煩講多一次啊！大家都有表達自己訴求、表達自己意見嘅權力，但係咧一定要以和平、有秩序嘅方式進行，好嘛？唔該晒你。
好，今日記者會完畢，多謝大家。
記者會咧就